I get a feeling there's going to be a riot.
I don't read the newspapers because they all...
I get a feeling there's going to be a riot.
Check me out. Check me out.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Negotiations breaking down. See those leaders start to frown. It's sword and gun day. Tomorrow never comes until it's too late. Come with it. Come with it. Could be sitting, taking lunch. The news will hit you like a punch. It's only Tuesday.
What time is it?
You never thought we'd go to war after all the things we saw. It's April Fool's Day.
What time is it?
Tomorrow never comes until it's too late. Tomorrow never comes until it's too late.
Tomorrow is another day. Today is another bomb. Tomorrow is another day. Today is another bomb. Tomorrow is another day. Today is another bomb. Tomorrow is another day. Today is another
In order to be able to check echo in the chat, I had to put in my headphones.
Escalation, devastation, generation, separation, situation, dissipation, shot. Another shot, the tender vessel crushing, pop the heart is cold, the gun is hot, shot. I'm not sure if they done or not, I'm not sure that they wanna stop, the gun is cold, the blood is hot, shot. Shot, 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 shot. The hearts are weak, the guns are not.
You hear a whistling overhead. Are you alive or are you dead? It's only Thursday.
What time is it?
You feel the shaking of the ground. A million candles burn around. Is it your birthday?
What time is it?
Tomorrow never
Get
comes
tomorrow on the phone.
too late.
Trying to reach tomorrow. Get tomorrow on the phone.
Tomorrow never comes
I need to see tomorrow.
too late.
Trying to reach tomorrow.
Think tomorrow's come, I think it's too late.
Another day. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000?
A flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is taking another well-deserved night to fight evil. Come back soon, Peanut. Welcome to Strange. No, seriously, prayers for Peanut. I don't know what's going on with him right now, but it's family related. Welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger in fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Mark. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, and yes, Caroline, if it is not October 1st, 2024, then you are listening to a rerun. Don't forget the show can be found on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is only the beginning. Quote of the day goes exactly like these kind words. From the cast of Strange World, our hearts and prayers go out to those who were affected by the storm last week. We hope that the rebuilding process is as short and as painless as possible, and DJ will be talking about that at length. My co-hosts are, in the upper left, the perfect Patricia Steere. And in the upper right, the always delightful DJ Curious. Hi, guys. What's going on?
I'm good. Hello.
Oh, my God. I made it.
You did. And we're going to hear all about your adventures very soon. But, you know, and I'm glad you're back, DJ, because you don't have a lot of friends. And sometimes it's hard to find Flat Earth friends. But there's an easy way. See my segue there? Smooth. An easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary horizontal level plane. The solution is simple. It's the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Yeah, watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. Oh, so sleepy. And because it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast, it's time to say goodnight to one of our listeners, Paige. She's supposed to put on her Space Ace pajamas, got a cup of cocoa with exactly 6 tiny marshmallows, and will probably listen to the playback in the morning. Good night, Paige. Shout outs. Okay, Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones, who are going to go on tour next year, provided, you know, dystopia doesn't happen. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Actually, their promo came up on my channel several times for the 2025 tour. It's really cool. I love the editing on it. Go to the strong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch. Also, shout out to ZULUONE, long-time listener and caller of the show, for doing a simulcast stream on his channel, also called ZULUONE. Mailbag. Oh, hey, we got a couple mail things. Let's see. Rob, longtime listener to the show from the UK, sent me, I only do Flat Earth stuff. He sent me a postcard from Selkirk. If you guys have ever been to Selkirk. And he sent me some Flat Earth pins with the cool compass, which I was going to mention to Patricia earlier.
Oh, nice.
But I forgot, which was, because you said there's a weird thing on that platypus shirt. I go, that you mean the weird thing? Hey, DJ's got some merch. And the weird thing you're talking about on the shirt, wasn't that David Weiss's compass? North in the center and south around the edges?
Oh, yeah. That's what no, one of the, well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
One of them wasn't and one of them was. And the one that was because I put it there.
Also got an early Halloween card from, oh, I gotcha. Halloween card from Christine up in Alaska. A little Halloween card. And she says, don't eat too much candy. LOL. Hi, Mark. Happy fall. Keep it flat and real. Hi to Patricia. Hope all is well. Petersburg is rainy. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Christine. Very, very nice.
Nice.
And last but not least, friend of the show who sent me more stuff than not about anybody, Christian from Vegas. He sent me 3 Flat Earth things. And you guys can send me whatever you want, but if it's Flat Earth, I will show it on the show. Got a Flat Earth leather patch. That's kind of fun. So that's kind of neat. And a Flat Earth keychain. Also nice, which I will use for something. And another Flat Earth iron coin, which is, let me see here. Yeah, the Iron Guild. And what I'm going to do with those, I put a pretty strong magnet, and I use that as a kind of a decorative refrigerator magnet. So
Very nice.
Cool. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Let's see, meetups. Who's got the meetups?
Got lots of merch too from everybody. I can go show it off later.
You can show it off now if you want. What do you got?
Let's see. Well, Sander and Stephanie from the Netherlands made some really cool coaster. It says Flattoberfest 2024.
Nice.
And then let's see. Oh, Richard gave us some cute pens. We got magnets, little frisbees, flat earth frisbees. Oh, Tony Chocoloni, we got some
Tony's Chocolonely. Nice.
Yeah, like so cute.
Oh God. Oh, Choco Lonely.
Oh yeah, Chocolonely.
I've seen that around in grocery stores here in Texas. That
Nice.
brand.
Oh, really? I wonder if it's good.
Never tried. They're big bars though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Yeah, you
They
won't
have
be
them at
lonely
Whole
after you
Foods.
finish that. What else did you have, DJ?
So much merch. I mean, shout out to Carol. I love her soap, her charcoal soap, so I got to give her a quick shout out. And then, of course, all the cool, really cool stuff, which is Make Earth Flat Again.
Nice.
I like it.
My favorite one, because Jurassic Park as a kid was my favorite movie, and this is just even better.
Yep.
Antarctic
Yeah,
Park.
I've seen you wear that shirt before. That's nice.
I was wearing that the first day. It was so fun. So, anywho, lots of good merch. I think that's everything I was going to show
I do
off.
want to say happy birthday to Brian Staveley. who
Oh,
was there.
right. And
It's
and
his birthday today. And I
Very
hope
cool.
I'm not stealing any of DJ Curious's thunder, but he did some broadcasts from the event, and he was really wanting to give shout outs to the Hampton Inn, because the Hampton Inn was very helpful with getting people who, some weird way were displaced by the whole hurricane from the event. Places to stay, camping, just really great. Like, people just, I don't know, a lot of time businesses are disappointing in the way that they handle adversity, and they don't care. You can tell they don't care, but in the case of the Hampton Inn there, just really, you almost want to write them a good Yelp review even if you didn't go. That's what people should do too.
Yep.
Anyway.
I've got
Very true. Good point. And Brian's video that he did, the 10-minute kind of thank you to the Hampton, aka
Yes.
the Hampton Inn, was great. So I watched that today too.
Yeah.
we got 3 meetups really quick. First one's going to be October 12th at the Sorrel Bar and Grill. That's 1400 Bedford Street, Abington, Massachusetts. That's going to be Jesse's. You can RSVP him by calling him at 781-857-9175 or email him at 300kmileprius@gmail.com. There is also another meetup at, let's see here, October 12th in Kansas. That meetup promo is on my channel. October 26th, Minnesota. That one is on my channel. And a quick shout out to Regina Shaw, longtime flat earther. She is opening a flat earth herb store. It's called Flat Earth Herbs. It's in Brownsville, Oregon. Its grand opening is October 4th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 240 North Main Street in Brownsville, Oregon. Join us, celebrate opening this community store full of wonderful things for your health and happiness. So very cool, Regina. Hope it goes well, and I'm very, very excited for you. Let's do this before DJ gets into everything that is conference. Let's run the Fast Earth clue of the week, which is called Spacesuit. 60 seconds that'll change your life, and you'll probably notice that DJ's in it. Well, because he's cute. Here we go. Friends message me saying, Mark, what's the deal with spacesuits? Well, the deal is that suits in movies do things that are not possible in real life, but you accept it because it's been burned into your brain again and again. Let's face it, you've watched way more fake astronauts than real ones. Oh, wait, they're all fake. The main point here is pressure and what it does to things. Most people don't even know what they are breathing in, let alone the air pressure that surrounds them. If you believe in science and space has no pressure, and the law says different pressures will equalize without a barrier, it's why all gases we use are kept in metal containers. But that's a problem. Any soft container will expand until it explodes. But this doesn't happen with a spacesuit. No one in science has ever emailed me about how that works. I even offered a spacesuit challenge to drive the point home. Loan me a suit from any era, they all work just fine. Not sure why you kept changing it. Then put me into a vacuum chamber and pull the lever. Tell me how I stay alive in there. No one would touch it because if it was a trick, I could solve it by using a glass of water, a balloon, and a bell. The water boils, the balloon explodes, and the bell is silent. You should know this, by the way. The spacesuit is a lie because space is a fairy tale told to you by people in lab coats. The world is flat. Do your own research and look past the tricks. Whatever. I'm done. And there we go.
Really good.
Thank you. And again, appreciate the emails from people that apparently didn't remember my challenge, which is, look, I don't mind. They're not going to put me in a vacuum chamber. It's like, they could kill you, and it's like, no, they're not. Because which is why I mentioned the trick. I could tell you if it was an actual vacuum chamber with $4 worth of materials, which they'll never let me do. So that's kind of the kicker there. It can't be a real vacuum chamber, or yes, it would fail. So there you go. And again, big risk, big reward. Why wouldn't I put myself out there? Seriously, it'd be awesome. Die for a cause. Okay. So there was a conference. The title of the show is called A Conference, a Hurricane, and a Spacesuit. You've seen the spacesuit. And the conference, which was supposed to be just a generic outdoor Flattoberfest concert, was anything but. Why? Because a hurricane just decided to show up at the exact same time we were doing it. And
a really powerful one, too.
Yeah, and DJ made his way down there from Los Angeles. How'd that go, DJ?
Oh man, you guys, it was crazy. I am a mixed bag of emotions, and there's so much to cover that I just hope I can do it justice. Because honestly, it was an experience. It was like a apocalypse, just fantasy / event of the freaking lifetime in my mind. So I just want to shout out to the people there that I'm so grateful for meeting all of you and for the support that I felt in everyone's presence, and how it was a story like Lowry, I think he said on his show. Which shout out to the Sombrero. They did an awesome job covering in real time what was happening in the experience there. So if you want to see what it was like, you can check it out on the Tinfoil Sombrero. Awesome job, guys. But yeah, I mean, talk about nothing going as planned, right?
No. What? So you were delayed a little bit in DC on your way down.
Yeah, I mean, look, from the very moment that I got there, my Uber driver was kind of interesting because he immediately starts talking conspiracy. So already I'm like, this is going to be fun because why not?
Yeah.
And so he ends up getting flat smacked by the end of it because he just shared so much with me and was just eating it up, all the kind of steps that it could take where this lie could be true. And ultimately the lie points towards truth, which is that we're in God's terrarium, right? So that's kind of a big freaking blue pill, red pill moment where he basically asked for, to be red pilled by the end of by we got out of the Uber. In fact, he was so excited that he took off with my bag. So my experience, which guys, I can only really explain what I went through and what my observation was, but my takeaway, I mean, it starts off on the wrong foot from the moment, good foot, but when he drives off with my bag, I'm literally chasing him at the airport, running, going, oh my God, my suitcase. Cause I think he was frazzled.
Oh, sure.
So yeah. So then I had to call him. I got my bag. I go up to the terminal, and they're like, "Oh, your flight was canceled." I'm like, "What? I just spent an hour getting here." So I'm like, "Okay, what do I do? What do I do?" And the guy was not helpful at all. I was trying to be as patient as I could, and I'm like, "Well, what are my options?" And I'm trying to track the storm. I'm like, I don't even know where the storm exactly is. I don't know what's happening. I don't know where to go that's nearby. So end up going, hey, just get me to DC. I feel like if that's safe, I'll be close enough, and then I can get a connecting flight the next available. I get to DC. I had booked a hotel kind of quickly on my phone for the next night. So then they're like, sorry, you don't have a room. And I'm sitting there in the lobby going, okay, great. I'm going to just figure this out. They luckily get me a room. I check at 3 a.m. for the next available flight, which was going to be at 8 a.m. canceled. I'm like, oh my God, it's just total destruction or something's happening. And I'm like, okay, what's the next available flight? 12 noon. Oh, perfect. That's the one. So I wake up, I check the flight 2 hours before, not canceled. And that was where I just get to the airport. It's an hour flight, land. I get it. Luckily, there's an Uber. The storm had, subsided. The sun was starting to poke through. I get right to the hotel within 20 minutes. I walk up. The hotel power was out. So I'm thinking, I just Ubered here with no idea what I was getting myself into. I have no idea what the extent of the damage is. I'm not able to check, I have no clue what's going on. That's all I can tell you guys.
Right.
And I hear somebody, and at the front desk, you walk in, it's pitch black. They have only the light coming in from the windows. I look around the lobby, and there's caution tape everywhere because apparently something had collapsed. There was leaks onto their desks. There's towels all over the front counter. They are looking at me like a deer in the headlights, like, hey, we can't even give you a room because, first of all, you were a no-show. I'm like, no, I called the day before. They're like, well, we're figuring it out as we go. We don't have power. We don't know if we're getting power back. They're telling us it could be a few days. So in that moment, I just sit there and I'm like, okay, well, I have 50% battery life left on my phone. I either turn around and get an Uber back to the airport where there's some power, maybe charge my phone and figure out if I want to take a flight somewhere else and come back, or have some faith that God is going to provide, and that because I was feeling called to be there. I wasn't thinking about, am I going to be uncomfortable? Are we, is this the right thing, the wrong thing to do? I was just thinking, I have to get there. And what I overheard in the lobby was somebody mentions biblical trees. And I was like, ooh, biblical trees, turn around. It's a really sweet guy. And I walk over to him, and he goes, and he's sitting there, and I'm like, "Are you here for Flattoberfest?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, me too. I just got here. I didn't know what's going on." I'm like, "Dude, where'd you come from?" And he's telling me he just drove a few states. And I go, I saw he was charging his phone, and I said, would you mind if I juiced up? Because in that moment, the only thing that was giving me any sense of security was the fact that if I have my phone, I can get an Uber and I can get out of there if I have to.
Right.
But if I don't, if my phone dies, it's literally like I have the money that I came there with, I have the clothes and suitcase that I brought, and no guarantee that I have a room there. I have no idea where everybody else is. And it was just a moment of, what are you going to do? Right?
Right.
But my post-apocalyptic video game scenario in my head was like, all right, let's freaking go, because I know I'm not going to die. I know
Probably.
that the flat earthers are going to come together. They're very resourceful, and I'm excited to see everyone. So as soon as I'm starting to assess what I really want to do, Tony Coriolis walks up. Hey,
Oh, wow.
shout out to me. And he is just such a great guy. He's the epitome of just chill. He's got great grounding energy, and he goes, "Yo, DJ, what's up?" And I was like, "Dude, what's going on? Where is everybody?" He's like, "Actually, we're setting up in the back. Everybody's out there." I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go." So then I tell my new friend Sean, I was like, "Hey, unplug the phone. Sean, you're a lifesaver. Thank you so much. You just gave me that sense of calm that I needed." And Tony, and I'm like, "You're our new friend. It's like, let's go." We get to the back parking lot. We have a few people out there, and they just start setting up chairs on the grass. And the word on the street starts to spread that, hey, everybody's coming here to the Hampton Inn.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, perfect. So at least we're going to hang out. My phone battery's up to maybe 75%. I'm feeling like, all right, I got this. And let's see what's going to happen, right? Within moments, it feels like you see Carl. He was already there with Valley Parks, and I start to see other people, and they're trickling in, and Richard and that gang, Sanders, Stephanie, they show up, which they're all so sweet too and cool and just very welcoming. And you feel, okay, the flat earthers are here, so we have at least somebody to hang out with.
Sure.
Which was, again, just kind of like, well, what are we going to do? So I'm going to try to go as slow as I can. But that was the initial reaction to everything, and people were feeling called to be there. And if you had that call and you answered it, it turned out to be a weekend to remember. So,
and I'm sorry, real quick clarification. Were you staying at the Hampton? I thought you were initially checked in at the Hilton in Spartanburg.
well, it turns out it is the Hampton Inn, sponsored by the Hilton.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. And the staff there was great. They were so nice. I'm like, thank God you guys even came to work today, because they, some people would be like, I'm not going to work. But what you find out is that actually a lot of their homes have no power.
Right.
And a lot of them couldn't even get home, because what the extent of the damage, I don't know if people know. Apparently it was 2 million people without power. They were not expecting a storm that was 500 miles inland. So I really want to pay my respects to all the victims, because this is a blessing amongst the chaos.
Right.
That it all came together the way that it did. And I think it's really heartbreaking for some of the people that maybe didn't make it. And I don't want to act like it was just such this amazing time, but there was an air of security amongst us, because we knew that if we were there, we were going to band together,
right,
and we were going to make the best of it. And that's literally what happened. So I then decide, well, it looks like I should stay. Maybe I can go in there and get my room. And I talk to the front desk, and I say, look, I called last night right before the power went out. Literally, it was at 2 a.m. And they told me that my room would be fine. And they go, okay, here's what we can do. We can write your name on a piece of paper, and we'll give you this key, and we'll walk up with you, and we'll open up your room for you, because Tony was kind enough to let me leave my bags in their room, so I didn't have to worry about it. Mm-hmm. So I get my bags from Tony. I go to the room. It's pitch black. If you want to take a shower, it's only cold water. There's no hot water. I drop my bags off. I kind of freshen up, and I go downstairs, and I'm like, all right, well, I got a place to sleep. I don't care if there's power or not, because we're going to be partying and hanging out all night anyway. So I'm feeling much better by that point. Like rain or shine, whatever, power or not, who cares? Let's just do this, right? So we go back outside. By that time, it seems like tons of more people show up. Then I see Mojo Shop, shout out to him. He's like unpacking his truck, and he's setting up like he's setting up music equipment. I'm going, this is cool. And then you got Valley Parks and Valerie just sitting there chilling. She's not complaining. She's got her crutches. You can tell has like a knee injury. We have Carl, he's setting up his camera. He's getting ready to shoot the moon. He's going, I'm just setting up like this is where we're going to be, and that's it. And I'm going, okay, so the energy was, hey, everything's fine. And that feels really good when you're a little bit scared about what's going to happen to you, right?
Sure.
So by this point, the sunlight's starting to go down. It's maybe, getting closer to twilight. By that point, Dr. Law shows up and he starts setting up the grill. And he could have been there a little early. A lot of these minor details are blurring together, so bear with me. But the point that I'm making is within a few hours, we have music, we have stage lighting, we have campfires, we have lanterns, we have Dr. Law with 2 grills, tons of food, a staff, and he's ready to go and just starts cooking. So what is there to worry about at that point in my mind? Well, I'll tell you what it was. What was there to worry about? Bugs. I did not anticipate bugs. So forgive me, but I had planned for rain. I went and bought rain gear. I had planned for mud. I went and bought muck boots. I did not think very hard through that there could be all these weird bugs that this California boy is just not used to.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, Dusty, DJ, whatever your name is, do not panic. Even though I'm just not the bug guy, sure enough, right then I feel this bite. I'm like, ow, what the heck was that? And I'm trying not to react. I'm actually, nobody's even noticing this. I just go and I feel on my stomach this hard pinch, and I grab it, and I could see this weird bug had just bit me. It looked like a giant mosquito. And they're like, I go, what is this? And then someone saw, they're like, oh no, that's a no-see-um. I'm like, what's a no-see-um? And they're like, oh, just these kind of like, wherever I am. I don't even know where I am. And honestly, if I say the South, the Midwest, I have no clue, you guys, where I really was.
South.
The South, okay. So I'm in the South, there could be no-see-ums. I'm like, whatever. I just, in that moment, I was like, you know what, girl, just get over it. Get over it. You get covered in white, we'll deal with it. And so, luckily, that was the only one that I got as far as that weird no-see-um. The whole weekend went by with the breeze without tons of bug bites. I think people were just dealing with it. And after that first initial, that was about as scary, as it was for me. But I'm thinking, you start to hear about how people, the road gets washed out, the dam breaks, their home slid off the hill. And there was such immense damage in these locations.
Yeah.
If you have any kind of heart or empathy or just sense about you, you really have to let those little things go in the moment and start to really try to be like, guys, it could be so much worse.
Yeah.
Right. And it happened so fast too.
Yeah.
I mean, the hurricane, it comes and destroys and then it's gone. And it's like, what the heck, whoa.
Yeah. And I don't know if you covered this. The reason why you guys were hanging out outside the Hampton Inn / Hilton, whatever, was because the main venue area was sealed off. There were too many. There were down trees and power lines, and you had no access to it. It was basically closed by default.
Yeah, so we kind of figure that out where you go, hey, even if we wanted to go to the campsite, there's down trees covering the roads, which is why this was so devastating for the area. Apparently the soil is pretty shallow and it's a lot of thick clay. So the tree roots can only go so deep. And so when there's a heavy wind like that they're not expecting, it just topples the trees right over. Right. And it had not only knocked over tons of power lines, but also blocked roads. And for the people that felt that call to be there, they would go down certain side roads, and this is what was so jarring for even the locals, is that you couldn't get to just your gas station a few miles away, which we're still trying to operate apparently. You hear through word of mouth that like the gas stations have no power, some gas stations have no gas, so then people are showing up to the event with basically on fumes that have run out of gas in the parking lot at the Flattoberfest. And we start to hear these stories, and because every flat earther wants to meet the other, because it's a question of, hey, when did you start questioning things? When did you get into flat earth, and where has that led you? Has this been, has it been a divine intervention in your life, and where are you now? Those are the kinds of questions that people bring up and that you start to talk about. And because I want to make sure that my mom, who may or may not be watching this for the first time, I told her at Flattoberfest when I was riding high of emotion that, Mom, I have something to tell you. I'm on a flat earth YouTube show that
Uh-oh.
That's wow, that's deep.
Woof.
Feeling so, you guys, there was like, I haven't been in a disaster situation of that magnitude, but really it was everyone coming together, making you feel seen, making you feel like whatever you need, we're going to get it for you. And that is a very powerful feeling. I mean, I would imagine if you're God's children, then these are your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to say to my mom is that this is not about the creation. This is about seeing the creator from his signature on the earth. And there's a lot to get into, but just a sneak peek to later in the show when Whitsitt starts talking, and he spells out how truly mystical and incredible and wondrous this world, this terrarium that we're in. This is God's perfect location for his most prized creation. That's what humans are. And when you can see solid ground with your own eyes, and you can feel the hearts of your fellow brothers and sisters who have gone through the ridicule that every flat earther experiences when you start to come to terms with this, because the way that evil has positioned itself is that not only does God not exist, but neither does Satan or evil, and that it's just based in mankind's ability to evolve and adapt into better and better with our options in the stars that will carry us forward. And when you realize that there's a seal, a dome, a barrier between what's here and what's above, and you're forced to look at how unique and special and central and geocentric the earth is, it changes your life to where if there's a book in this mystical realm where unicorns could have existed, and trees and bugs and flowers and scents and colors and rainbows and everything that is here that we know of, and everyone we've ever loved, and everyone that we've ever everything we've ever experienced is here, we know that it was made with purpose and intention. It's not about the creation, it's about worshiping the creator whose name who goes by many names. And there's in the flat earth community, it's all about getting this name right. Oh, you're going to get the name right, and then that's not the God that I worship, this, that. Sometimes you kind of feel like that, where there's these people worship this and these people worship that. What I want to tell you is God goes by many names. He goes by the Most High. He goes by the Everlasting Father. He goes by the Mighty Counselor. He goes by the Prince of Peace. He goes by Yah. He goes by Yahweh. He goes by Jesus. He goes by all these names that you can look into and decide for yourself who the Creator is. But this is a message from him to all of you, that it is time to look up and know that your redemption is near, because love is going to overcome the world. And that was what this little microcosm of all the disaster around the flat earthers, where God has protected his people in times of need. He can do anything he needs to and wants to, and he knows what you need before you need it. This was an experience in every way, shape, and form of that moment. And that's why it was so fun, because once you know that, you can have joy. You can have nothing but joy. I mean, what are you going to worry about? There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
The end is written before the beginning. You were thought of before you were married. You were thought of before you were in your mother's womb. So you can let that stress go when you start to see through the veil. And what I can tell you is that this weekend, the veil was lifted, guys. The veil was lifted. The Heavenly Father has provided sight so we could have some security, so we can have peace of mind. It's the peace that surpasses all understanding when you start to see that he is real and he loves you. So yeah, I had a dance party in the middle of a disaster, and I wore the lab coat. And I have no problem being fun and silly anymore, because I don't care what this world thinks of me. I don't care anymore. I just want them to know that this is not all there is. I just want them to know that we were blessed. We were blessed to be there, and we all knew it. And when you were there and you experienced it, you were so happy. And maybe not everyone had the perfect experience. I obviously can't speak for everyone, but I tried my best to talk to each person. I tried my best to hear and learn who they are, to feel what they felt, and to make them feel seen, and for that to share their story, and to tell them that, hey, we are having parallel lives. A lot of us are having parallel experiences. And what it's doing is it's giving us faith. That's why the flat earth is important. It's not about the creation. It's about solid ground to stand up, so you stand on, so you can look up and go, I see you, Lord. I see you. I feel your presence. This is not evil's story that's playing out. This is his story that's going to unfold, and it's going to unfold his way. And that means he's going to have a good time, because God doesn't do anything without doing it right. And when he wanted to tell the story of good and evil before he created, he talked to himself and said, are we going to do this? Yes, we are. And you know how it's going to go, right? It ain't going to go right. It's going to go really wrong for a while, but we're going to have a solution, right? Oh, of course we are. And then when that solution is there, it's nothing's more beautiful than thinking about the creator who became his own creation in the form of a man and died for all sins. He wanted you to know that because he loves you. He humbled himself into a human form and told himself, I don't need to know everything right now because I'm God and I can't fail. So I'm going to walk with my creation, and I'm going to talk to them, I'm going to love them, I'm going to teach them, and I'm going to learn myself as my life increases. And as my life increases, I'm going to know more of what's coming, and I'm going to prepare you for what's coming. And when I die, I'm going to overcome death and take the keys to death in my hands, and I'm going to laugh in the face of adversity because there's nothing for me to worry about. And that's what he did. That's the story of Jesus, who then ascends to heaven. And so all these things open up. Well, what about the Father? What about the Son? What about the Spirit? God is beyond all those things. He's not just the Father. He's not just the Son. He's not just the Spirit. He exists in our reality and outside of it. It's like when you play Mario, Mario's in the game. You're holding the control outside of your TV, but you're controlling it and you're controlling Mario. He's your avatar in the Mario world. God exists outside of our reality. When he decided to create and said, it's time, I know it's going to go bad. I have the solution. They're going to love me for it. I'm going to teach them how to love me. I'm going to teach them what love means. I'm going to teach them what trust means every day of their lives. And I'm going to beg them to listen to my call. And when I finally do, when we finally do, we're going to know what the love of God is, and it's going to surpass all understanding. And so God exists outside of reality. When he's in reality, he's in the form of Jesus, and he is there to interact with us, something that we can see because God is invisible. He is the image of the invisible. He is not separate. He did not create an image. He put forth an image, like when we breathe and our breath comes out of us. That is the Son. And in that moment, when creation was where we're at in creation and where we're at in the story of good and evil is today. And as this world starts to fall apart, and we hear more about the injustice, and we hear more about the suffering, and we hear more about the pain, and we hear more about the hate, and we hear more about the division, God's plan is unfolding. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. And if you're a flat earther, you have a piece of that truth that you needed so that you would believe this message. That's why flat earth is important. That's why the community comes together and had to be there. That's why they will take 300-mile detour to get out of harm's way and get there to be with their brothers and sisters and to just hug one another. Because you're a human and you love your fellow human. That's what you were born and made to do. You were born and made to love each other. You were born and made to enjoy the earth as one and to be one touched with the Creator. So yeah, we're supposed to have a good time because he said you will recognize them by their joy. So never forgetting to laugh and to pause and pump the brakes and be like, it's not so intense, DJ. But they gave me a microphone and something happened to me. And I really want to get to all that fun stuff, but this is what my takeaway is. And this is why I wanted to stop the division in the flat earth community. If you don't believe in this name or that name, God goes by many names. Stop saying that you're right or wrong. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm just telling you, this is a feeling. This is my perspective. If you like it, come talk to me. If you don't like it, I love you anyway, and we'll give you more time. Teach me then. Show me then. Because what else is making sense in this world anymore? Nothing. Nothing makes sense anymore. The veil that is over our globe friends' eyes is that evil has brainwashed them since they were born to hide the existence of the Creator. Do you not see that? Our globe brothers and sisters? Do you not see how unfulfilled you are? Do you not see how much pain and suffering that you've endured that you think is for nothing? Do you not see that your hope is not in the stars? Your hope is here with each other, with your family. This is not the forever experience. This is the temporary experience until what's to come, and it's on God's time, and it's on God's terms, and he's going to do it right, and he's not going to leave anyone behind. And you're in the palm of his hand, and evil is toiling away, and it's going to get desperate. As Austin basically pointed out, that he thinks we're close to critical mass. And I want to get to that, and I feel like I've jumped ahead and don't know what just happened exactly, but I'm just sharing with you a message that of why Flat Earth is important. I think it's because I just don't want to fight with my mom. I don't want to fight with my friends anymore. I don't want to fight with this world. I just want everyone to know why this is important. And it's so heartbreaking that we just can't have the conversation. And that's why people drove and did everything they could to be there with each other. Because it was worth it. And we're going to go to commercial break.
Not yet, we're not. Oh, no. You think I'm going to stop you from rolling? I do have a follow-up question. By the way, DJ, that was wonderful. Thank you.
I hope your mom was watching.
Yeah, I hope so, too.
I love you. I love you. I forgive you. Forgive me for everything we've ever said to each other, we've ever done. I love you with all of my heart and my soul. You're my mother. I honor you. God chose you for me as my mother. And everything we've ever gone through, which, guys, it's been a lot. I just want to have peace with you. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding, Mom. So, please forgive me if I said anything offensive to anyone. Please forgive me. I'm just trying to make sense of this world. And thank you for listening. I guess I should tell the rest of the story. So,
wait. What happened?
Yeah, no, and then, real quick. By the way, I have to chime in really quick, which is I've done a lot of different conferences over the decades. Different types. I've been to everything from a wood stove conference to Comic-Con to music festival, everything you can think of, right? And with something like this, I can tell you right now that if a hurricane was heading towards a conference, that conference would either be canceled or everyone would just turn their asses right around and head home. It's like, no. Only the flat earthers, only the flat earth community would be like, oh no, we're going. This is gonna happen. When the venue gets shut down, when trees and power lines fall on the actual venue, only the flat earthers would be like, oh, that's not gonna stop us. Where can we go? Where can we set up? And that's just wonderful to hear. Every video link every live thing that you sent me was just fantastic. I was like watching, it's like, oh, hey, Flat Earth doesn't quit.
Did not quit. It was like there was a determination I never experienced before, and it was awesome because by the evening of that first night, we had so much food. People got gas that needed it to go home. There was music. Shout out to Mojo. Shout out to Steve. Shout out. I don't want to miss anyone, and if I do, it's not that I don't love you or appreciate you. I'm just trying so hard to get it done right, the story. But when I was sitting there making friends with Jared and whoever else was there, this Tony, and we were listening to the beautiful music under the blanket of stars, and Carl's like, hey, DJ, get over here, let's go track Jupiter, it's rising, and look at these constellations, and zooms in on Jupiter, and he's like, look, we captured those 3 lights, those aren't the moons, this is the beautiful, what God says are angels in the sky, in the firmament. Maybe Jupiter's something else. It could be, there's so many, it's fun to just ponder, but we know they're not giant gas balls billions of miles away. That's literally the definition of gas lighting. It's a lie, everyone. Don't you want to know what the truth is? It feels like joy. It feels like this is a beautiful home created for you. And so when you have a Flat Earth conference, you start to look at the earth, and that shout out to Cami, who's got her cymatic table set up and these rocks, and she's teaching people about refraction, and she's teaching people about gems, and she's showing you how rocks can change under light, and you're watching the cymatic table vibrate in different frequencies, and the sound changes the sand patterns into multiple designs, and everything is geometric and everything is frequency here. It's not gravity. It's frequency, it's vibration, it's the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That was a vibration of creation. that we exist in. The flat earth is the simplest way of saying it. To be perfectly honest, flat earth is complex. This system is far more complex than we even know, so it doesn't matter what happens with this final experiment, Will Duffy. Don't you get it? Antarctica, if it sees two suns, who cares? This is a created terrarium by God himself, who has more imagination than you ever will. And you better start recognizing it, because he loves you and he's trying to get a message through to you. Be open with these flat earthers. They want to get to the truth. You're just trying to humiliate them. And if you're not, prove me wrong. And you know what? We're calling your bluff, because we're not afraid to go who's going. You can't do anything to make it look foolish anymore when this place is a beautiful timepiece. Learn about the flat earth theory in its entirety and stop lying that you haven't, or do something. Right?
Yes.
Annoying. It's annoying, Will Duffy. This is a complex system. You cannot leave the earth. The earth is a closed system. Listen to your fellow Bill Nye scientist, okay? It's way complex. When someone says flat earth, it's not about the flatness. It's about how beautifully intricate and wondrous this earth is. And we're just in the footstool. Imagine when we get to the living room. So these are the thoughts that I've been having, and this is what's happened to me after this weekend, guys, because I had an overpouring of just love, real love, in truth. I can't explain it. Besides what I just said. So if you want to know you can rewind it and go back and listen again.
It must have been wonderful. I mean, I envy you in some ways, because you got to see the community under stress, and the community under, I've seen them under various levels of stress, but not like this. In the middle of a storm section where all around them is devastation, and they're trying to get there. They're doing whatever. I mean, the Jerome kept calling me and saying, it's like, where is everybody? I need to meet up. I don't know. I'm lost here. Because, and I finally got him the message, and you could tell his cell service kept dropping. And it's like, I knew he finally ended up somewhere good. You ended up running into Jerome, right?
Oh, yeah. Jerome is my man. We got him there, and Jerome, love you, brother. I was great to see you. I even got him. He even tried on the lab coat, because he's like, oh, man, DJ, I should have got that lab coat, but it don't fit me right. So DJ, it looks good on you. But I was like, hey, it's your turn to put it on. And we got pictures, and he was so happy. But yeah, it was days with just everybody. I mean, I really want to make sure that we recognize how beautiful it was to witness the community come together, like you said. Because if that wasn't the case, if I felt uncomfortable for 1 minute, who knows, I might have made another decision. Yeah. Might have gotten nervous or scared, but I never felt that. And if you did, I'm sorry if anyone. But for me, it was exactly what I needed.
And as far as ways you came from, Los Angeles would have been the furthest in the United States. You weren't even the furthest person at the venue. There were several people out of country that came
from
for this.
Scotland, I heard, was one of the places. That's pretty far.
Netherlands. Was there anybody from Australia? I can't remember.
Well, we had, Melbourne, Richard.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Yep, the pen. Got it.
Cute Australian pen. Oh, Richard. See, it's just like these people are loving, and there's just the gamut of personalities. People from Romania. Shout out to Norina. Shout out to just everyone who took all that time to get there. I was thinking of, I think it was Ben Balderson or Odin's Alchemy, that apparently they tried to cross that bridge, and it had gotten washed out, and so people took an extra 4 or 5 hour detours just to get there. And when you got there, you couldn't help but embrace that there was just this feeling of security and peace and happiness.
I heard stories about people that got to guide others in, where the ones that took detours, and then other people call. It's like, how did you get there? I can't see the route, because phones were failing. I got an email from somebody that said they had to break out an actual old school roadmap. The kept set like an encyclopedia with the binders, going through, and that's the only way they made it through, because their phone wasn't any help. because the service in some areas got so spotty that Google Maps was useless.
Yeah.
Was there anybody there or did anybody that called did not make it? Was there anybody that you heard of that had to turn around because they were cut off?
I did not hear that, but I did hear that people were looking at maps and trying to figure out, because again, if you didn't have service, it must have been so anxious for those people that know they're running out of gas, know they're driving through town without, and to take side streets and use their maps and then get to a roadblock and I heard stories where they had to go all the way back the way that they came. How discouraging.
Yeah.
Right? Because all these roads were kind of squirrely and all the different directions, and it just was a mission. But I know that my point is, when you feel that call to be there, you need to trust your gut.
Yeah.
That's God going, I'm going to protect you. And what he wants his people to listen to that voice inside of them.
So did the event go off? I mean, everybody got to talk who wanted to talk, and you guys were there from, you didn't get there till Friday, right?
Friday lunchtime or right after, yeah.
And then,
so what happened that day was just Karen and that crew were having to kind of hang tight where they were, because they were trying to figure out if the venue was going to be able to be salvageable. They were dealing with, the fact that they lived in this area, so they had their places to stay, but kind of figuring out what was happening, and everything was happening. Looking back, it just seems like it was orchestrated so beautifully, but, that's because people made do with the situation. But I know Karen was really trying to figure out, okay, are we going to get to the music camp? Is there a way? But I think so that first night, everyone just kind of stayed in place where they were comfortable. And then the next day, it was like, let's assess the situation. And it made the most sense to come to the Hampton, AKA the Campton Inn, and just join the party. I mean, I was very grateful that, shout out to Nico, Rico, Lowry for checking in on me and being like, do you need help? Do you need it? And I said, no, I'm so good, you guys. Like, I am exactly where I want to be. I'm just totally at peace and happy if you guys are good. Like, I was telling them, hey, we're all actually doing just fine because of everything I told you. Food, music, lighting. And it was just a beautiful bonding evening. But by the next day on Saturday, we kind of wake up and already Dr. Law's cooking breakfast. So shout out to him in the sense of just, dude, you slaved away this weekend. And if it wasn't for you, we would have been starved, because there was really not many options and really nowhere to go.
Sure.
And thank you, because him and his team, they worked non-stop, it seems like, and they were there late. And it seemed to be done without complaining. And it was they were happy because like the music was right there and everyone was hanging out. And I just want to make sure they know that was what gave me the peace that I needed, knowing there was food, music, shelter, so that we could all enjoy it. And I think that's how everybody felt. And so by midday Saturday, we're having dance party. And Lowry's on the DJ, and then we got the bands going on, and Chief Crow, amazing, OBL, One Big Love, epic. I mean, they're using these lyrics that are speaking directly to our soul, because we know how evil this world is, and I'm tired of it. I don't care what anyone thinks of me anymore. This place is evil, and it's time to wake up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so you guys, so by the time, so did you guys wrap up on Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon?
Nope. So then we had all day Sunday as well, where then we had more music, more dance parties. Karen B got the t-shirts there. The vendors had set up everything. So many great vendors. Shout out to them that were just providing all the fun merch. And I felt like the conference was meant to be there at that point. There was no reason to be upset. Everything was in place exactly where it was supposed to be.
Nice.
And we had the speakers, and it was great to hear, people just wanted to get up there, whether they have, they were nervous or not. They just wanted to be able to share what they were feeling. And every single person had something to offer, and every single person said something beautiful. Even if you don't think you did, you did. You were eloquent, more than you know, and you were brave. And if you didn't speak, and you heard the speakers, you felt comfort knowing that they're thinking and feeling what you were. And, it was just an exercise in humanity in so many ways.
Wonderful.
And Austin had a lot of good stuff that I think I should talk about kind of remind me to just let's go into Austin's whole presentation and what he's thinking and what he talked about and what he thinks is coming, because I think that's really interesting.
You got time. Hit us with Austin, and then we'll go to the break.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure we got it back up for a second because we don't miss anything, because the Austin is kind of like the, obviously that was for a lot of people a big, but I hear you. Okay, let me think. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I'm just...
It's all right. Take your time.
I mean, I guess we'll just have to go there since that's all I can think about.
That's all right. You can always jump. You can jump back later.
Well, it's important to know that to be a public flat earther, it's not about attention. I'm making the best of it, guys. It's not about fame. It's not about anything a part of the Matrix. And it was interesting because on my flight over, I watched 2 movies. 1, Muriel's Wedding, which hilarious. And 2, The Matrix, which, wow. I mean, talk about indoctrination, but in the coolest way possible. It's all about the Globers think that the Matrix can't be real because they showed us the movie, when it's literally we exist in a Matrix within a Matrix. I mean, the people are in the Globe Matrix watching this movie about a robot Matrix. And so it stuck with me because of how many, iconic moments are in that movie, but there's a lot of Globe propaganda in it. And it made me think about this veil that's over everybody's eyes that don't see the truth. And Austin was talking about how special and intricate this world really is, like I mentioned, but also he said that there's some really high profile influencers that have maybe reached out to him. He didn't say exactly, but what I gathered is that some very, very, very popular with a lot of influence have come to this information, and that he thinks that we need to be prepared for what's coming. Wow. And what's coming is a moment of where the world goes into panic. And it's because the people that start to look into this talk about cognitive dissonance and how we all have those stories of the Globers that won't let us talk and the ones that get really angry. Imagine that by times 1,000 is what could happen if this really were to blow up, where all of a sudden you have the world's attention on this, which aka means evil. And if evil holds the world in its hand, but God's got the whole container of everything, evil's grip is going to squeeze. And as the truth starts to squeeze through the fingertips, it's going to get pissed. And as it gets more pissed, bad things could happen. But that's why our faith, knowing that this is unfolding as it's been preordained, knowing that this is the plan that God is allowing to unfold, that when we walk with the Lord, we are not to worry. He sees you. He holds your life in his hands. So whatever the devil tries to do to you, it's not ultimately him who decides if you live or die. And if God's going to take your life, he's going to do it with grace, without pain. And to be away from the body is to be at home with the Lord, because Austin, what he said in his presentation is that the frequencies here, it appears that when there is a release of a body, that frequency immediately equalizes with above. And that could be your soul returning instantly to the Lord. And that he sees the science behind something like that, he said. And what's going on in this earth is a complex, intricate wonderland that when the world starts to put its attention to that and see the truth, they're going to be hungry for it, because that's what happens with truth. That's why we're here. You can't be satisfied enough with knowing more and more and more and more. And if that starts to happen, evil's time plan is going to go into overdrive to deceive and to pull people apart and to make you feel scared and to make you feel like this is it. And it's not. So that's why he was worried. He goes, not only, he didn't get into that as much as that was my takeaway, but he did say those things. And he did say that if flat earth starts to blow up and get a lot of attention, that's going to be really bad for the movement, because evil is going to try to confuse things and take it over and basically ruin it. But again, nothing is out of the perfect plan that's been in place since the beginning of time. So we just have to have faith. It's not about anything other than how can you learn to trust God? And we learn to trust him through his word. And we learn to trust him through our experiences in him working in our lives. And if it's critical mass, guys, for the 10 years that you've put in your service and you being looked at as the fools, the Bible says that those who profess themselves to be wise will be made foolish. And there's nothing more foolish than believing in that God created a flat earth, right? And it's pretty much at the bottom of the totem pole. But it's just because evil's so desperate to make people believe their lies. And we're done. We're done believing your lies. And you feel done. So when Austin, who has this gift, his ability to process the intricacies, the Lord has blessed him with so much insight. And he knows that the Creator is real and it's speaking through him. And it's giving him the drive, so much so that he would die for this. He would die for the truth. Because when you have the love of truth in you, you are preordained. And we're meant to wake everyone up by loving them, by forgiving them. That's what works. If you feel called on your heart, or if you're upset about someone, let it go. If you feel called in your heart that you're punishing someone by ignoring them, let it go. Now is the time to reach out to those people and really show them what love you have, and to stop being angry because they don't see what you see. We can only love them. That's the only way you wake up. And Austin preparing us by being possibly a front man of when this information starts to spread, as well as you two and possibly me, who knows, but he really has a gift of articulating the science, which is so important to the Globers. And when they start to see that the science doesn't add up the way that they've been taught and the way that they've assumed, and they've just taken it for granted that everything's working as it is, because they look up and see blackness and lights in the sky and they think, well, I must be in space. So how could the flat earth be real? When Austin's here to tell you it works way different than whatever you think it is.
True.
And Austin's ability to see the signature of the Creator is really powerful. And the people that have put the time in to understand how this place works are going to have a lot of ridicule, more than we've ever experienced, like Dave Weiss and all these other great people that I can't just even say names right now, but I just want them to know that the God is with them, because you're going to need it.
Agreed. Tell you what, DJ, let's do this. Let's go to break, and then we'll give you a chance to do some closing remarks after. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go to our break, just be a few minutes. And Karen, if you're listening, this one still has the Flytoberfest at the end of your Monday morning coffee talk, so I'm going to need a new trailer when you get the chance. So anyway, what happens when I click this?
Introducing the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock App Meetup Maker. Never miss another meetup again. You can look up meetups in several different ways. Sort by date. You can search by location or within a 500-mile radius. To create and list your own meetup, enter the date. Give the meetup a name, a location name. Add a photo. Enter your contact information. Create a group chat name and then fill out the description with all of the details. Select your background color and hit the Save button to add your meetup to the list. Once the meetup is saved, it will ask you to create a group chat for all of the meetups so people can join the group and start a local chat community. Select Public Group. Add your welcome message, and your meetup is now available for all to see. To make sure you don't miss another meetup in your area, you can select your desired radius and whether you want push notifications or email or both. Whenever a new meetup is added in your selected radius,
well done, DJ.
Notified. The Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock Meetup Maker, bringing people together all
that makes
around
two of
the
us.
plane.
Say, because, I love Most of the time. Can be a troublemaker though.
Join me, Karen B, every moon day at 9:30 a.m. for Coffee Talk on YouTube,
Or
Rumble,
insane.
and Rockfin. You never know what you'll learn about in the coffee shop. Open topic and open phones, y'all. You can also go to flatearthfestivals.com for updates on the latest news for Flattoberfest 2024, and also
Well, for being
meetups,
something
local meetups.
that you
If
did
want
not
to have your
read,
meetup
that was
listed
one of the
on
finest
flatearthfestivals.com
impromptu
for
things I've
free,
ever heard.
Please email flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com.
I'm just saying. Oh, wait, we're back. Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 2. It's you, me, the always perfect Patricia Steere, drinking what no doubt is straight up whiskey. The always delightful DJ Curious, who did a couple rails in the bathroom before he came back. And yeah, that was Joe Jackson stepping out. That's why I asked to wear goggles. That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album
Night and day.
There you go. So
You know what DJ was saying, especially all the adversity that the Flat Earthers face to get to the event, is really a microcosm of the adversity that all the Flat Earthers have faced since the day that they came out of the closet, so to speak, and told people in their life that they no longer believe in the globe. It's a struggle, and then you kind of come to this sort of feeling of self-acceptance and a feeling of happiness, even when you're dealing with a lot of evil, because you realize what the world is. But going to an event like that seems to me like a way to recharge your batteries. I mean, I've been to a lot of Flat Earth events. Some of them are, you know, the mood is different in all of them. But this one, although I didn't attend, it seems like it was a real recharge of the batteries for people because of all the adversity that was happening all around. It just made everyone, I'm sure, feel more tightly bound to this awakening and to each other. DJ, closer to your own personal beliefs about God and the Flat Earth all in one. Like, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you. I mean, I don't really, it wasn't planned to say anything like that. I'm just trying to share my feelings and my thoughts of, but I know that I've asked the Lord to speak for me, and he says to not rehearse if you're in that situation, because he will give you the words. And I really hope that I believe that it is, that this is a message, because again, it's bigger than the Flat Earth guys. This is about biblical proportions. And that's what's, the story is already told, and where there will come a time where corruption and all of the immorality and all of the deception will come to a head, and it just feels like we're getting closer to that. And so my prayer for every single one of you is to have the hope and the peace and the faith and the trust in the one who knows you best, who created you, and to take that hand that is always there, outstretched for you, and to grab it whenever you need it for a lift up. Because if God is real, which obviously we believe that he is, we can agree, maybe you don't even like the word God, creator, intelligent designer, whatever, you can get past that block that you have of making you feel like you can't get the help that you need. It's always there for you. He knows everything that you're going through and that you need. And if you don't like the word he, then it's it. And if you know what I'm saying? It's think beyond these limited words that we have. It's bigger than our vocabulary. It's more complex than our imagination. It's all of us combined of everything we can do. And there's so much more to learn of what's to come that I want to share with you guys.
I like how you said that people are getting bogged down about what to call the Creator, God, Yahweh. All of these names. He, she. It's okay. It's okay when other people call it something different than you do. It's fine. We're really all on the same page.
All on the same page. Some people put so much emphasis in its name when it says in the scripture, which I believe is a holy book and divine, that it elevated its word above its name. And the word is God. It always was, always will be. And so I look at the earth now. I mean, Austin really helped me think of this place as a mythical terrarium. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. So you have, if you think about everything from the ground up, so you've got the soil and all the intricate fungi, which if you watch Joe Rogan, he's got that fungi on there all the time, Paul Stamets, where he talks about how the fungus in the soil is communicating with all the seeds that are there to kind of help. Oh, this one needs water. Oh, this one needs more nutrients. Oh, this is what this thing is. So we're going to pop up here, and then we're going to put this other thing there because the fungus is so intricate, the mycelium that's connected. It's the biggest organism basically on Earth. And it talks to the seeds to help create this beautiful forest, right? But working your way up, you have the insect layer, which is toiling the soil and keeping everything kind of ground up, and then you have the lizards, which are keeping them in control, and you've got the birds that are keeping everything else, spreading the seeds, and you have all these little worker bees and all the things that are doing their part. And every single thing here, when you start to get past this evolution lie, you can see that everything is made with intent, and it has its purpose, just like each and every one of you. God wants to give each and every one of you a hope and a purpose. And when you start to see his signature on the way the earth works, and you know that these animals are well balanced, they're not out of control in their ecosystems unless humankind intervenes, and they all work together as adaptation does, you see how beautiful everything, for it to exist as it does, it has to be exactly how it is. You can't change it. You can't tamper with what God intended. And then from there, you get the gorgeous flowers that burst forth, and the beautiful animals, and you get the bigger things that you see more easily. But there's so much going on that the eyes can't see that create this beautiful earth so picturesque. And then you continue moving your way up into the atmosphere and the clouds and the sunlight. And when you get into flat earth, you learn about how all the different colors in the sky are the sun interacting with all the gases here. And it's not pollution when you see a gorgeous sunset necessarily. It's usually because you don't understand how the gases in the atmosphere interact with light. And when that light shines in certain angles and directions, it's just a constant symphony of colors and vibration and beauty that was made for every single human. And I'm just tired of having to act like that's not the case. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being told that the veil wants us to believe that this is just a random universe and a random planet and a random galaxy and you're random and everything's just on its way out. And if you don't have it all right now, too bad. Sorry, you missed out. And that's why you should have FOMO in this reality, and you need to have it all.
Yeah.
When if you knew that you don't, maybe you could have a little peace and take your time and enjoy the moment.
Yeah, we have enough already, and we are enough as we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I was nervous before you went down because it's like, oh man, he's gonna have a hard time getting there. But now that you went, and not only went, but it changed your perspective and gave you a whole new take on a number of different things, to where, I mean, come on. I've heard evangelicals that don't have as much enthusiasm as you right now. And it's wonderful and beautiful to see. And I am lucky that it happened here. and I got to witness it. And God, seriously, when you play this back tomorrow, because I know you're going to, you're going to be like, what happened? What happened?
This is going to be all day tomorrow.
No, and again, the it almost sounded to me after listening to different people talk about different things. And by the way, shout out to Just Jack, that who called me, because I knew he would, right? It's like, I'm going to call Mark. Doesn't matter how late it is. I'm going to call him. And I'm looking at the phone. I'm going, oh, he's just going to call back if I don't answer it. So I better pick up. And next thing you know, he's showing it around to everybody. It's like saying, hey, I'm Mark Sargent. Hey, it's Mark Sargent. Hey, I'm Mark Sargent. And of course, you were on cloud nine, and it was awesome. But it almost sounded like everyone, like the community. Remember, the community's been looking for a cause anyway. It's almost we've been looking for adversity in any form. Because we don't get it from our garden variety trolls, and we don't get it from other mainstream media, and so the fact that the elements turned against us and made us, gave us a chance to prove ourselves was wonderful. It was inspiring, and I regret it. It's like, oh man, wish I would have been there. Oh, I'm sure I would have hated moments, no doubt, especially when the hotel told me it's like, oh no, you're gonna have a cold shower. It's like, oh.
That's how I felt at first, but I was like, oh, cold shower will wake me up. But what actually really happened is the power came on at 1:38 a.m.
Oh, so
it came on, so I got to take a hot shower. Some people might have took cold showers. Hey, it's like good for your,
Were people that had rooms, because I've done this for people on various things, were people that had rooms said, hey, campers, you want to come in and have a shower type thing?
Absolutely, that was awesome.
Nice.
So. Yeah, let me give you some. You brought up a few things that jogged my memory. Thank you. A few things.
Yeah.
A, it was Nico. So shout out to Nico,
yep.
who was like, DJ, let's call Mark. And she didn't have her phone, and I was too nervous to call you because I don't want to bug you. And I was like, no, and I'm trying to play it off. And she's like very insistent, which, girl, I love you for it because you were right. I should have trusted you. And she was asking around, like, who's got Mark's number? Who's got Mark's number? She got Just Jack. And Just Jack, shout out to you because what a great dude. And also Alex, his buddy. And he got you on the phone, Mark, and you picked up because he's like, I'm just going to keep calling until Mark picks up. That's the thing. Everyone loves you. Everyone loves you both. I mean, I got to meet people that have, because obviously being on Strange World now for a few months, people recognize me. And I kind of touched on this before. When you get into Flat Earth, it's not about fame because this is the opposite of fame. You don't want to be a part of the fame system.
Right.
So really doing this because we want to help people out there who feel this hopelessness. And Mark and Patricia, you guys have been doing that. You did that for me, and you do that for so many people, and they just love you guys. They really do. And so do I. And it was so cool to talk to people that I never thought would know who I am, but it was more important that they were happy with, with the show, and they were feeling very, they're seeing the changes in a positive light, like, hey, this is becoming a Flat Earth family show. It's Flat Earth news. It's a Flat Earth hangout, where we can talk about what's been going on in the community and still learn from you, Mark. I mean, everybody wants to learn from you and Patricia, but, with the clues, it really catapulted you out there because you put yourself out there, and then for both of you to be in behind the curve and to have the world turn its back on you guys and try to shame you the way that it did, but to see us back together and that Mark is still pushing Flat Earth, Fast Earth clues to keep up with the TikTok generation. I mean, it gives people so much joy to see it all where we're at. I mean, 10 years later for you guys.
Awesome. Awesome.
And you jogged my memory on a few other things too. The shower. So yeah, I mean, everybody had an open door policy. I was hearing about people showering and using each other's rooms to get freshened up. And I gave my key out to multiple people, which is again, out of my comfort zone, even though I love people. And I think with everything that I've said tonight, it's important that I say this before I forget, that we're not called to be perfect, you guys. I think that's another misconception you need to know. We're not called to be perfect. We're called to follow the commandments, but when we fail, forgiveness is a free gift. But that means it's a daily practice, and we're forgiven by grace, and we're not saved by works. No one will ever be good enough. So if you're sitting there like, well, I don't think God is happy with me because of how you feel, that shame, God doesn't have that shame for you. He looks at you like his child. We are his children, and he just wants you to learn through your conscience. When you feel that guilt, you can ask God, I need your help. I need your forgiveness, please. When you answer your conscience, it's your moral compass. Everything points north. Everything points towards God, really. And so it's not something that I want anyone to worry about with what their past has, because my past is not perfect. Me saying these things does not mean all of a sudden I'm perfect. Me feeling the way that I feel does not mean all of a sudden I have to be perfect. No. Stop. The way that the globe matrix has indoctrinated you about science and the way that what the earth really is, it's also done a great job of indoctrinating you what it means to be one with God, to be Christ-like, to be a Christian, or whatever the word is that won't trigger you, because you've been brainwashed as well from the system to make Christians and people who are like Christ as crazy people, hypocrites. Stop worrying about what their perspective is of you. We're not held to mankind's standards. And when you realize the truth that God wants to forgive you freely, every time you ask for it, he's right there to give it to you. Every time.
Yeah.
That's important to know. It's a blessing. It feels great because once you start listening to it, you want to make less mistakes. So it changes you. You don't have to change to be one with God. It changes you when you start to see his signature and you call out to him. And all that I did the past couple of years is I took the scriptures seriously when it said, all those who seek the Lord with their heart and soul, if you seek him with all your heart, soul, and mind, you will find him. It's like knock, knock, knock. I recommend that everyone do it because you will feel this immense peace that I never knew was possible because it surpasses all understanding. And now when you have it, I worry that people think like, oh, if I mess up or if I sin, it's like the sin lives in your skin. We haven't been made new yet. And so God knows that. He knows how hard this system is working against you, not with just the shape of the earth. It's working against you with every single thing that's negative in your life is from this evil that's here. But it's temporary.
Yeah.
And I just, it gets back to sharing the rooms and getting out, getting out of your comfort zone and doing the right thing it is for your fellow human. I mean, I was, I thought maybe for 2.2 seconds, it was like, oh, my stuff's in there. Oh, well, like if they're going to, I don't believe anyone would steal from me. No one did. And I just was like, I'm not even going to worry about it. And then someone needed a bed. And I was so happy to have a roommate, shout out to Valley Parks, who slept in the spare bed in my room the second night. And what a great little cutie pie you are. And I was so happy that you were comfortable because it broke my heart hearing you were in the car and other people. I know, but it's so cute, Mark. And Patricia, she was like, DJ, let's put on a podcast. And I go, okay, what do you want to listen to? I was like, should we put on Strange World? And she's like, yeah. And so we went to sleep listening to the latest episode. And she was so sweet, all cuddled up in the bed, just got a fresh shower and, slept like an angel.
Aww.
And I know, I was hearing so many people were doing things like that. I wish I had all the testimony of everyone, because I was hearing that all over the campsite.
That's great.
I know.
Absolutely wonderful.
It really was. So lots of other fun things I should try to bring up to lighten the mood here, but.
Well, no, I've got to transition anyway because I was thinking,
Okay.
and you did wonderful, by the way. You went way above and beyond what I thought you would do for the breakdown. So thank you.
And everybody in the chat agrees with that. So.
Oh no, are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's
I didn't
freaking
even look at it, so I'm not even going to look. But
10 out of 10,
I think,
my man.
Thank you. Well, hey, I want to shout out to Lowry. Check out the Tim Fozer, like I said. Check out FE Nation.
We don't really like Lowry, but go ahead.
Okay, just because if you didn't see it, it's really fun to go back and see how it all played out, and it was beautiful.
Awesome. Hey, there was something I didn't know if you caught it, but I kind of wanted to run it because I told Patricia I would, and it was something what Patricia didn't know, but DJ was messaging me, what was it, last week or a week before. It's like, we should do something for Patricia, and someone had come up with that compilation of all of Patricia's looks during Strange World back in the day. And I didn't make. Look. I'm not going to steal credit from anybody. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I want to play it now. It only takes like 3 minutes, I think, 3.5. And the guy that did it, Patricia doesn't know who it is, and I don't know who it is. Whoever it is, if you're listening or if you know who made it, please message one of us and let us know. Because he went through a lot of time of going through all the old Strange Worlds and finding pretty much every hairstyle that Patricia ever had, from short hair to long hair. And so, without further ado, you ready, DJ?
Yeah.
This will give you a few minutes, and I got to find it. How about now?
Hello and welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. It's The Secret Show. It's episode 291, and I am not a man.
Here she comes now. Don't let me forget when we come back, Patricia. We're going to plug the secret show. I think we did that to prove you actually had a real house with a real set. Yeah, fourth wall.
I think I'm on. Hello. 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 Oh, hello. Hello and welcome. I think it's working. Oh, it is working. Hey, I'm here. It took me a moment. Ask them about the curvature.
I was behind the curve.
Very 69 in my, so 69-ish looking dress. So,
That's where our drinking shows.
cheers. And there might be some drinking before we sit down in our chairs to watch the documentary. Because not that I rely upon drinking to alleviate my nerves. Fetch me a flask. We've got, let me tell you, we've got dangerous, trained
great.
wild animals who are going to do a special act for you.
Not
That's
a single
later on.
freckle.
It's a fly-by Rory sighting there.
That wasn't a real cat.
They're CGI cats. They're fine. They're fine. They're here. Well, a lot of men worry about shrinkage. Way for those wondering, it's a problem I would never understand. Mr. Time, save me. Well, I've mentioned Muzak, which dates me. Then I've mentioned a song.
I love that one.
What else do I know? Well, Asian people are just have sex like anybody else. There's something in there. There's got to be lubrication of parts. It's about having fun, and they're heavy enough I can hit somebody on the head with them, and they'll be knocked out. So they're like multi-purpose, actually. Welcome to The Secret Show, recommended by 4 out of 5 doctors. The other one's dead. And I'm wearing heels. So here's my trash bag outfit. And by the way,
Best
what I
trash
just
bag
meant
ever.
is, if I were smarter, I'd get out of Flat Earth. I don't mean anything weird. What? All the craziness is hidden deep inside. Oh my God, this isn't even the right song. Hold on. I really need this weekly conversation. My friends and family can't handle the truth.
Yep. Said it before and I'll say it again. I have never met anyone with so many different looks, all of them fabulous. It was stunning. I mean, it was an absolute privilege when I came on the Secret Show and Patricia would just pop on, because it'd be like, what is she gonna look like today? And it's like, wow. It's like the only one that I think was even remotely subdued, or it's like it's not your best, but you pulled it off, was the hippie one in the middle, where you look like you were plucked straight out of 1968.
With the glasses?
Yeah. No. It was just you in that brown. It would look like it was almost like you were wearing like a Native American moccasin outfit. And
yeah.
That is like, it's like, what were we doing that time? No freaking idea. Yeah, that was wonderful. So thank you, whoever made that, who put together all the clips.
It was made and sent to me after I deleted my channel in 2019 with a note that said the Earth is a whole lot less flat since you've left. So
you know what?
that was really nice.
Cover for 1 second. I forgot to light my fire back
Your
there.
bonfire, part 2 for the second half of the show?
Yes.
I think it's good that it's in your kitchen, because it just seemed it was dangerous on the floor. I mean, he's not afraid, but I wouldn't have like a big fire near me. I'd be too scared. Mark's not scared.
No, I did meet people that were diehard Patricia Steere fans, and almost seemed like there's one guy, he just really adores you, Patricia, out there, and was wanting to just talk about how happy he is that you're back and doing well. And yeah, it was so cool. And you really are a beautiful person inside and out. And it's really important that the Flat Earth family, takes care of you this go around, because you've already been through a lot on just so many ways. And just so you know, when Mark asked us to do this, I was just thought to myself, like, I just want you to feel seen and supported because I know how important that is to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You deserve it.
So I don't have any. No, I completely disagree. It's not inside and out. It's outside only. She eats children. All right. And by that I mean weekly. I'm not kidding you. It's like a steady stream of Amazon packages that you're kicking on the.
No, it's Wayfair. Wayfair.
Oh, right, it's Wayfair. Got it. Okay, so I have a few. No, you're wonderful. That's why I call her Perfect Patricia. Let's see, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, Firefox. So,
I'm looking at the chat. Whenever I'm looking down, I'm looking at the chat.
So I only have a couple stories, and most of them are kind of cloud-based. There weren't any space stories I wanted to go into, and the Iran thing was too soon. I'm going to wait to see what Israel does next week before I even begin to comment on that. I mean, I was watching it for a couple hours this morning. It's like, yeah, I guess. But, I've been waiting for a Middle East flare-up for some time, so we'll see how that goes. So I wanted to cover this one really quick, which was, again, hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. So the head of Weight Watchers, the one that kind of was in charge of. So here's the thing. So she's being fired basically, right? She's the CEO of Weight Watchers. If you didn't know what happened, let me tell you really quick. So she was the lead who pushed the company into embracing weight loss drugs. So forget about eat less and exercise. No, let's just give them the drugs. And by that, I mean injections. So the Weight Watchers have been around for 60 years. They bought a telehealth platform that connected patients with doctors that can prescribe weight loss and diabetes drugs, including Ozempic and Wegovy. And it turns out that people didn't need to go through Weight Watchers to get these. They just went through them on their own. It's like, we don't have to sign up for Weight Watchers. We're just going to get it. And so what happened was Weight Watchers started losing their shirt, unfortunately, and the stock is down 90%. Weight Watchers may go under before this is over. I don't know how they're going to recover. So, yeah, that was
People can get those weight loss drugs from a med spa now.
Yes.
Not even an actual doctor. Not that I think actual doctors are all that either anyway.
Yeah.
But these days you can just go to a med spa and they'll give you a shot and then you just come back in I don't know how it works, but something like that.
Yeah. And
that was or whatever.
And that was their point. People were like, why do we have to, in fact, the people that want to be more anonymous about it, it's like, why would we sign up through Weight Watchers and let them know we're doing this?
Now, have you noticed, though, since this advent of all these weight loss drugs under all the different brand names, has it been like 5 years now, 4 years? Have you noticed around you less morbidly obese people or not?
Yes and no. The people that take them, at least around here, are not shy about admitting it because, they got to explain it some way. Because that whole average 15, 18 pounds or whatever, oh, no. The people that take them, they're losing, again, the whole Ozempic face, which we talked about some months ago. The fact that there's a thing called Ozempic face. It's not good.
Which is just basically you look like all the life's been sucked out of your face because your skin was stretched when you were heavier. Yeah. Now you've lost weight and now you've got like hanging skin.
Yeah.
Kind of a hollow look, which is probably better than being obese for your health. But.
Do I think... that people are overall, do I think people are looking less whalish? No.
Whalish.
No. But you got to remember, I'm looking at you two most of the time, and you two are not the national average by any stretch. So anyway, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Weight Watchers is going down the tubes. This is just bad karma coming back to bite them in the ass. So sorry, Weight Watchers, you shouldn't have done it. You should have kept with the original program. Eat less, exercise, motivation, pushing people to do it on their own. And this one came back to frickin' haunt you.
I don't condone any of the weight loss drugs. I understand that for some people they felt like they needed to do it, but I think that there's going to be long-term effects. Right. It messes with your I'm not quite sure what organ, maybe the pancreas. It messes with something and gives your brain false signals of not being hungry. This is not natural.
Yeah,
go with what DJ was saying, it's not the body that God gave us.
You know what it does.
And here, we are not our exterior.
Right,
that's really, another thing about Flat Earth is you're not judging anyone by their exterior. That brings everyone of all races and looks to one place. It's just, I think it's important to know, in the vein of tonight's episode, you are also not your exterior, guys, and there is a glorified body waiting for you on the other side. So,
and also, I'll have to say, since we showed that compilation that was made for me of all my quote looks or many looks, yes, I have spent some time in my life trying to look certain different ways and having fun with my appearance, but I know I'm way more than that. And since I've come back, since I deleted my channel in 2019 and started YouTube with Flat Earth in 2015, I've aged. Oh, yeah. So have we all. However, I have received a few comments on some videos with people saying, oh my God, the COVID vaccine hit. Look how old she looks now. When they see me now on Strange World, when they maybe are used to what I look like in 2015, you know, everyone should look in the mirror and realize we all look different than we did back in 2015. It's not just me. It's all of us. And that's what it's like. If you are given the opportunity to be here 10 more years, then this is a blessing. You're not going to look as fresh-faced as you did 10 years ago. But you're here still. Yeah. So make the best of it. Treat your body with respect and love. Probably not using weight loss drugs would be a tip.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm down.
And enjoy.
I'm down 40 pounds since 2015, and I've hardly used Ozempic at all. It was mostly cocaine, the old school way. Speed, just jacking your metabolism up and hoping to God you don't crash and burn.
That's it.
So I know. Look, it's difficult to gaze upon me directly. I understand. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Mark, you even look better. That's what's interesting. And Patricia, you still look stunning. And I think that it's a good point to make that we are not our exterior. We are spirit and a soul. And so most people don't know the difference. And I want to share when the spirit, which comes from God, meets the body on the earth, it creates the soul and the mind. And so when the body dies and you've learned all the lessons here that we're learning and you move on to your spirit life, you still will retain that personality that you've developed. Here, and it is directly connected with God. And so it's again this generation of being indoctrinated that they need to look a certain way, and then if you have those looks, that your life will just fall into place. When it's like, look guys, no matter what you look like, because you really aren't your exterior, you still are going to have many other things that most people won't be able to shoes, right? But we're all having our own experience. And so just because someone looks a certain way doesn't mean that their life is any better than what yours is, and they might have some advantages in this evil system, but in God's eyes, he doesn't see our exterior.
Great beauty or lots of money or lots of things doesn't make a happier person. And we can look at Hollywood for many examples of that.
Right. And our people in our community, again, are the opposite of click chasers. Yes, Patricia could have been running a beauty channel for decades at any age, and DJ could have been running a channel that's like how to look like a 10 without trying. And the younger generations, which is the headline here, the younger generations are chasing clicks no matter what. Remember, social media is the only currency in their book, and so they're going after it. TMZ, the greatest journalists in the world, OnlyFans model out in Australia, stop acting like a tool in our biz, hardware shop, basically like a Lowe's, right? Issues ban over sexual videos. So this girl here, let me see if I can get her in frame. Asian girl, what her grift is to start live streaming and go into like a Lowe's and hit on guys that are, builders, plumbers, electricians and stuff, and pretend to offer exchange. It's like, hey, if you work on remodeling my bathroom, I'll go on a date with you. Right. Little, which is she's got a perfect American accent. Don't know what she's doing there anyway. But Lowe's decided to ban her from the store because some of the guys were complaining. Like that guy right there. I mean, that's straight from her stream. She walked up to this guy and said, hey, what are you doing? Trying to chat him up, small talk. I mean, the guy's old enough to be practically your grandfather.
I mean, any age relationships can work with the right people, but generally somebody who looks as young as she does from the photo and somebody who looks, like the guy does there, that's not a couple that's generally going to be happening. No. I would find it would be, if I were the guy, it would be insulting and weird that this young girl all like
yeah.
made up and glamorous is coming to talk to me.
Yeah.
I would basically say, get away from me.
Yeah, not buying it. Yeah.
No.
And,
Wait, was she's trying to get her bathroom remodeled or something?
no.
What did you
It's a
say?
ruse. She's just pretending. She's hoping these guys will take the hook. Meaning, it's like, oh yeah, I'll go on a date with you to remodel, to put siding up on your house or whatever. that's her.
Wait. That's taking DIY to a whole
Yeah.
new
Yeah,
level.
and
Well,
of
there's
course,
the do her.
and it's just a punk. It's just a prank. She doesn't want to do it. She just wants them to say yes, and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. And then she runs off. It's like, come on. Yeah. So, but the point is that that's what the generations, after us, that's their thing, which is anything for the clicks, anything for the subs. And in this case, anything, why she's doing it for an OnlyFans page, I have no idea. It's like, I suppose that's a thing. Whatever.
Does everybody on OnlyFans do sexual things naked on camera, or are there some OnlyFans people who are fully clothed and not doing sexual things?
No, it's almost always sexual, and
Okay.
it's fully clothed. I can only tell you from a friend of a friend I heard it from that it's because I'd never know anything about the categories in any sort of adult material, which would be that would be called glamour. So if you're still wearing clothes, and the more glamorous the better, and you're doing sexy stuff, then it's called glamour.
Okay, got it. So there's no just people talking like us on OnlyFans.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Not
Sorry, I
as
don't
far
know.
As far as I
I mean, that's just a celebrity, then maybe you could get paid to just talk to people. But I heard there's actually people that, if you're on OnlyFans, you're super popular, you hire people to have conversations with your fans, then you never actually interact.
Well, there's that. Sure. I mean, there's the ultra Patreon people where you pay for exclusive conversations. Sure. On OnlyFans, the closest you get would be ASMR, which is whispering really nice into the microphone. Let's talk about stuff like this. Like that.
Too bad there's no like flat Earth OnlyFans where nobody was doing anything sexual or naked or illegal or something where we could flat smack on OnlyFans, but without the sexual component.
Weiss,
But it
get
doesn't
on that.
exist, so forget it. Forget it.
We need a. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Well, I didn't. That's why I asked. What's is it only just sexual?
It's
Because
pretty
look
close.
at DJ doing stuff on TikTok, which is a platform I've seen some stuff on it, but I'm not on TikTok. But there are some TikTok or flat earthers, but they kind of all mostly started on blogs and then moved to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, should we also branch out into OnlyFans? But no, that's a closed door.
Nah. I mean, I've never
All right,
heard.
sorry, I didn't know.
No. I've never heard. The fact that you don't know anything about this tickles me.
I know what
Patricia.
OnlyFans is, but I mean, I haven't gone on it and looked, and I'm like, is there some OnlyFans where people aren't doing sex naked
Nah,
stuff?
if you're gonna
Okay.
do stuff, just let's put a button.
I should have looked this up before I just
let's put-
showed my
That's all
ignorance.
right. Let's put a period on this, which is the only if you're good. Those people would really, and I've seen this with other channels, those would be like ultra Patreon people, which is if someone donates $1,000 to your channel, you basically pick up their call whenever they want. And they'll talk to you for certain, they're buying your time, right? Time is money. So they're buying your time. And there's a bunch of people that do that. So, in various things. So, but not, in our community, not so much. Okay. So TMZ, again, the finest journalists in the world. The only thing that I other than the conference, which made me smile to no end, we were the bright spot, believe it or not, in the middle of this just nightmare that was happening in all those states. Right? You saw the photos.
And there's some more hurricanes coming to the East Coast, I heard.
Yeah,
there's another one going.
They're not
It
going to
might miss the United States, but then there's a couple others behind it.
So the story that I love, because I love picking on Tesla, because I love picking on Elon, because he's a chump, which is Tesla vehicle bursts into flames. So what you guys don't know is, here's one of those things, again, about electric cars. First off, you cannot get them in any sort of wreck because of the battery even gets remotely scratched. It's a total. Companies do not know what to do. I mean, literally, if 1% of that battery is scratched, they'll be like, nope, can't take the chance, got to write it off. And because there is no shop that can replace the battery for less than the price of a car, they're just going to give you a new car. You're thinking, oh, that's great. So no, check your insurance premiums. You only do that once or twice, and then you're screwed. So what you also don't know is, if water, you do not drive through standing water if you're in a Tesla, and you really don't drive through standing water if it's got salt water mixed in with it, right? From storm surge. So in this case, and I don't think I can show you part of it. I think I'll show you that part, which is it was in his garage. He didn't even drive through. The water came underneath the garage door because the storm surge touched the bottom of the battery and again, burst into flames, which seems counterintuitive, right? Because call me crazy, I've never seen a gas car when it's sitting in standing water burst into flames. It's never happened in the history of gas-powered cars. But with these cars, it's almost a guarantee. So just to let you know, if people are thinking of buying electric cars, what are the drawbacks? I don't know. Water. So there you go. Salt water. Absolutely silly. All right. 2 more clown worlds, and then the 3 of us are going to go over the platypus logos, which I think is going to be kind of fun. Yeah. What we got? Which was this one? Okay, this is one of my fun ones. Okay, this is from Fox News. All right, I want to frame this for you. So let's see if we got... Okay, so a man's snowmobiling on his favorite trail, right? He doesn't own this property. He's just... If you know anyone that's ever snowmobiled, they're a pretty rough crowd. Meaning, they just freaking have drinks, just punch it, and they go as fast as motorcycles through the snow. And they're actually pretty safe as long as you're going over easy navigated trails, right? So this guy's going through these trails, and all of a sudden at night, because they have headlights, and all of a sudden, what's sitting in the middle of his trail but an Army Black Hawk helicopter? Because the Army had more than enough permission to land on certain piece of property. And this particular piece of property, they landed in the middle of a snowmobile trail. And the guy was just riding along and again, drinking, nothing illegal about it. So why is that interesting? It's interesting because what do you think happened after the guy was airlifted by the same helicopter to the hospital? Thank God they were there. He was a lawyer, by the way, the guy in the snowmobile. Oh, so bad. Because what he did, he sued immediately. He sued the U.S. Army and was awarded $3.3 million in damages. Now you're thinking, oh, wow, I did pretty well.
3.3? Is that another 33?
It is a 33.
What the heck?
His name was Jeff Smith. But the thing was, he almost didn't make it out of there. His doctor bills were extensive. And they gave him $3.3 million, and I think that barely covered what he did because he had a dozen broken ribs, a punctured lung, and other images. And this was in Worthington, Massachusetts. And I think his doctor bills were up in the lines of it was way the hell up there. There he is. It was not good, but yeah, he ended up when there's his snowmobile. In fact, the interesting part was because the guys were in it. The Army guys were in the helicopter when it happened, and all of a sudden they hear. If you ever seen a Black Hawk up close, it's an armored helicopter. It's big and heavy. All of a sudden there's like, poof, right? The hell was that? Right? They had no idea. It's like they're walking outside with flashlights. Like, who the hell's this guy? Came out of nowhere. They barely even had time to hear him. So yeah, there you go. What my point there is, the lucked out. If he wasn't a lawyer, who knows what it would have been settled at. But hey, as a lawyer, he knew what to do. He ended up getting his medical expenses back. All right. Last but not least, before we get to our possibly Flat Earth mascot. Oh yeah, this one's fun. This is from the BBC. Now, as I've said before, there are not a lot of bands touring because they're not signing any more bands because it's easier to do solo artists. So the bands that are out there now, again, God bless the Deftones, you're going to be able to tour for the rest of your lives because there's going to be no new competition. No one's nipping at your heels. Bands like Coldplay, never going to be able to stop touring if they don't want to. So what happened was they're like, yeah, we're going to do 3 concerts in India, right? So they initially get their tickets and they're selling them online for 12,000 rupees, which I think is like $150 a ticket, right? Problem was they only had 180,000 tickets for 3 shows. It's 60,000 a piece. 10 million people hit the website, right? What do you think happens? Well, These people start scalping them immediately, turn them around on the Indian version of eBay, selling them for upwards of $11,000. No, sorry, that's 11,000 pounds. So that'd be about 14 grand a ticket. And they're selling again. That's what scalpers do, and good for you guys. But yeah, and they were comparing it to like what was happening in the UK, where they were selling 350-pound tickets for which would seem a little heavy. But then there were like Madonna was charging $1,600 for her VIP passes, and Beyonce's was selling for about almost $3,000 a piece, and that was just straight out of the Ticketmaster.
I would have no interest in seeing any of that for any price.
Right, you're not a Coldplay fan?
No, it's okay.
What about you, DJ? Coldplay fan?
Not really. I can say that they have had some songs that are very catchy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but I never sought them out. I mean, their song Yellow used to drive me crazy. It wasn't until one of their albums that came out that was a little bit more upbeat, and I got invited to a concert, and they put on a really good show, and I had more respect for them, but, it's just... Crap,
what was the song with that really haunting piano thing? Crap. Guys, chat room, you know what I'm talking. Coldplay's really, really huge.
They have good songs. I question anything in the entertainment industry at this point.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I am going to go see Morrissey.
Shocking.
Albums behind me.
Shocking.
October 31st.
Really?
So,
you're going to see the band that you've got framed albums on your background? You're going to see them?
Well, it's just the lead singer, Morrissey, now, and it's really close to my house, so of course I'm going.
How far would you have driven to see them?
I don't really do that sort of thing. I only see bands I like if they're like play where I am, or I happen to be somewhere else.
That's one of Patricia's T-shirts, by the way. I don't really do that sort of thing. That is one of your T-shirts. I have heard.
I would imagine, but I don't really wear T-shirts. But okay.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
Way to get them! There you go, Patricia.
Oh my God.
I have worn some T-shirts that have Flat Earth stuff on them, though.
Briefly.
Right.
Jeans? Do you ever wear jeans?
Do I what?
Do you ever wear jeans?
Yeah, I have jeans for sure.
Okay. I was gonna just see what limits were. Some people...
Actually, my limits now are only black clothing. I started wearing only black in 2019 right after I deleted my channel. And then when COVID started in late 2019 and into 2020, you know how when people used to in the old days wear black when somebody in their family died? Sure. That would be a thing. It was even when in England or in other countries that have royalty, that the people would have to wear black when their sovereign died. Well, the reason that I started wearing black when I deleted my channel, and also sort of which kind of flowed into COVID, my disappointment in humanity made me feel like I was mourning. I was in mourning. And yet I am back on YouTube now, and COVID is over. Why do I still wear black? Because I'll never forget. I'll never forget the things that I saw during COVID, or my own personal saga that caused me to delete my channel in 2019. I'll never forget. And I don't see black as a negative or depressing color. That's not what it represents to me. It just represents not forgetting what we've been through and what it did to change us. So that's why I only wear black now.
I wear black, just so you guys know. I've been wearing black fairly recently, well, a few years anyway. Mostly because of the Luke Skywalker connection. Not because I'm a huge Star Wars guy, but because Luke wore white in the first movie. Oh my God, I got my cable wrapped around my feet. Oh, for the love of God. And then he wore gray in the second one, and then he wore black in Return of the Jedi. And that was his big thing. So when he became the Jedi Master.
Yes. That's you now.
That's me.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
All right.
We'll know it's a interesting day when you wear some color. We'll have to see what day that will be.
Yeah, I literally don't own anything that has a color in it anymore. Zero.
Unless the UFO people tell me to wear a color, you'll know, because that will be basically it. Why is Mark wearing that color that doesn't seem like in the natural spectrum? And it's like, well, because they gave it to me and they told me to wear it. All right, so Patricia and I have been working on, as you guys know, the platypus, which I think it would be a wonderful mascot. In fact, let me see if I can pull out. I'm going to hide DJ for a second there, or at least hide. Oh, good. Your logo shows up anyway.
This was done by, he goes by Just Jesus, and he's in our live chat off and on. I don't know if he's in there right now. Let me check.
So the platypus, which is the most unusual animal on Earth, and renaming him the Flatipus because, of course, in fact,
there he is. Triple J is in the live chat. He
awesome.
did this.
And I came up
with
this.
This is only a work in progress.
A work in progress.
It's a template. It's an idea. There's many things that I would like to change just in this one, but you know.
Patricia is more the creative editor on this because she's extremely particular. In this case, he's standing on a piece of floating ice. He's wearing David Weiss's logo, which is the north and the center and south on all the points. Patricia doesn't like the sun in the background, which is fine. I'll pull up the other one here in a second.
Just because of the Will Duffy thing, I just think daylight's good. But the sun thing is just going to draw attention to that garbage, which the more we even focus on it and talk about it,
right.
it's best not to draw attention to that whole event.
There you go. I think this one's cuter than the other one, which we'll pull up in a second. DJ, what do you think? You like him?
It's so cute. I think people are going to think it's a penguin, though.
There's that.
I don't think so, because penguins have a sharp-nosed beak. And this is, you guys remember what a duck-billed platypus is. He's got a duck bill. He's got fur. He's got an otter's hands. He's got beaver tail. He's got spines in his feet, and he lays eggs. Oh, and he glows under black light. Oh, and there's one more little fact, which I'll pull up once I pull
and
up.
The back legs have spikes that can, like,
that have venom.
Poison you.
And I looked this up, which, hang on, let me pull this up really fast.
While you're pulling that up, from this one, where it says platypus across the top, the hat's blocking it off. It should be centered and much larger. And then those stars that are around the perimeter have got to go. And then there's a floating ball of ice, which doesn't really make sense.
Well, I don't know.
Needs to go. But, and the words have to
you
be
mean
bigger.
The ball of ice behind him?
Yeah, it doesn't make
sense. Oh, yeah.
But this is all when you put the input into AI, you get a lot of stuff mixed in with what you wanted. And it's not that Triple J, who's in our chat, wanted some of those things. It's just kind of what he got. So he's working on it.
No, I like it. I like
but
it
the
so
idea is cute.
I like the cuteness of it. And I just want to mention, because I was actually curious, because I took a guess and I said, well, the venom that he has in his spines has to be like snake venom, because that's just the weirdest thing ever, because then he'd be part reptile. I couldn't have been more wrong. Get this, right? I asked the internet, I go, hey, what sort of venom does the platypus have? It's like, well, it's got to be weird too, like everything else about it. The venom is a mix of 80 different types of toxins in 13 classes, including snakes, lizards, sea anemones, starfish, and spiders. So he's got venom from reptiles, insects, the marine community, and and all those. And the glow in the dark thing, I am sure, is tied to, you guys probably didn't know that scorpions glow under black light. That's how you hunt them, is you go out with a black light flashlight and you can find scorpions.
Why would you want to hunt them?
Why
Just leave them alone.
Why is
Let
a
them
nickel
live their
bigger
life.
than a dime? I have no idea. Why do people do anything? But in this case, that's why I think he glows. I think that's part of the insect thing, which is he glows under black light because he's also part insect. Of course he is. Anyway,
wow.
Let me.
So this is just an idea. So we're showing you these today just because some work has been done on some, and we are open to you sending in yours. Just with the general platypus across the top, and then underneath it says impossible but true, and then a platypus in the center. You know,
here's
what we're looking for.
Here's one of the other ones we're looking at, which is actually pretty good too.
The writing across the top is great, and then the impossible but true is great. The weird thing on his T-shirt is strange.
Yeah, the thing
that came from AI. It just put it there.
Well, I know what that is. The thing
what
underneath,
is it?
the thing under, that's a mushroom.
Mushroom?
Yeah, I don't know why it's a mushroom, but it's a mushroom.
Okay.
I don't know. People, I know I've got shirts with mushrooms on them. They, it's a.
It looks like a letter T to me, but whatever.
No, I'm telling you, I'm staring right at it. It's a freaking mushroom.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get rid of that. But we're getting there. So yes, I think a platypus.
Yeah.
He's
and
pretty,
the F gotta go. The sun's gotta go.
Yeah,
Those little starry things around the perimeter gotta go. Keeping it simple. But I like him being outside. Like that. Maybe it doesn't have to be in Antarctica. Antarctica sounds great, but yeah, you do get him confused with a penguin. I think DJ, you said that, right? Or
the
Mark,
the water's fine. I get remember.
Flat water's good.
Platypuses are only indigenous to Australia.
Right, so maybe having them in this sunny environment, standing on the flat land with the flat water behind.
Fine.
And then blue skies with like some fluffy clouds behind, I think. Yeah. No Fs, no weird symbol on the shirt. And yeah, he doesn't need to even have FE on the hat. What do you think, DJ?
The other platypus was a little cuter as far as I would flip. I like this background a lot. I think when I picture, so yeah, I mean,
these are just ideas. Cute. And so if you can do better, well, that sounds
if anyone out there, if you know somebody,
not do better. I mean, when you're working with AI, it's like it's
whip
just
up
really hard
something,
to, or draw it yourself if you know how to draw. That's really key. That would be great.
Yeah, whip up something. Impossible but true is something I came up with, which was which related to flat Earth, which was it's a thing that science throws back at them. They're like, it can't be true. It's impossible. Well, there it is.
Let me look in the live chat and see if anybody is saying.
Sorry. One more thing for you guys, which is the real quick. I forgot you guys were going to ask. With all that mix of toxins, with all those different toxins that it's got in its spines, it's not lethal to humans. It's painful, and you're definitely not going to be a happy person if they jab you, but you won't die. And even weirder, the poisons they only have poison during mating season. So
what's this for?
I don't know.
A really bad date?
What is any of it for? Why a duckbill? Why a beaver tail? It's not like they're building dams. Why an otter's hands? It's not like they're cracking shellfish. I don't know. God,
well,
I do like the eyes and the other one better. Here, let me pull up the other one real quick, and then we'll wrap up the show here pretty fast. Which is
we need to Frankenstein them to get the ultimate platypus.
I like the I like the cuteness. I like the whole the pupils in the eye type.
So
thing.
Does he need a longer beak then? Bill?
No,
doesn't he?
No.
No, that's how it looks.
No. Might be a different color. I think blue associated with penguins.
That's right. Can't be blue. So
okay, can't be blue. Well,
no Antarctica. I like that T-shirt. I think the hat. I mean, a hat that says Flat Earth maybe, or a T-shirt that says Flat Earth, maybe not both.
Well, here, let me...
And no Antarctica. That was a good idea, but yeah, it does scream penguin, which we love the penguins.
I do. So yeah, impossible but true, but the truth feels impossible, so it's kind of cool.
Here, let me click. I'll do this really quick, and then we'll...
Oh, he looks cute.
Come on.
It looks soft.
Everything God made is actually pretty cute.
Here,
I'll look at it.
I'll show you really fast. Let's change this out to... We'll turn off the thumb, and we'll just go to Firefox.
Anyway, thanks to Triple J for doing a lot of work and putting up with all my annoying suggestions.
Okay, we're going to wrap this up in a little bit. Here's what platypuses look like. Here's a great little generic picture if you guys can see that one.
Oh, yeah. See, it looks like the bill is really long in that one. Really long.
It's so cute.
Yeah, they're brown in color, but...
So let's make the new one brown and his bill long. His bill looks like a foot. It literally looks like a foot, a grayed out foot stuck on the nose.
Very flat beak. It's so perfect.
Uh-huh.
In real life, they're almost like a squirrel. I mean, they're just freaking weird.
Oh, yeah.
They're just...
he looks or she like a manta ray in that first picture, in a way, the way they're that right there.
Yeah.
Kind of part manta ray as well.
Yeah, they are just... this one of my favorites is this one right here. Looking cute, curling over the log. Oh, this is a great shot right here.
Oh, that's a baby one.
Isn't that cute?
What a baby.
Okay, we'll show one more, then we gotta get
Oh
out
my
of
god,
here.
that one's so
There-
cute.
Oh my god.
Baby, there's the really baby platypuses.
Look at the foot. Oh,
Aren't they adorable? I love them.
I love that picture.
Okay, with that, we're gonna get the heck out of Dodge.
I've got cat fur all over my face, and it's totally itching me because I was kissing one of my cats who's right here.
Note to everybody, Patricia loves cats. Okay, thank you, by
Yeah.
the way, everybody that's tuning in, and of course, thank you to DJ for his absolutely wonderful, absolutely top end inspiring speeches. I can't wait till you watch it in the morning. You're gonna cry. And
You.
no, seriously, you were
And
great.
happy birthday, Brian Stavely, and shout out to ZULUONE. And thank you to everyone who's in the live chat. I never even went through the live chat and said hello to everyone like I usually do, but hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We kind of ran out of time.
We will be back next week, same flat time, same flat channel.
Oh, and
So-
there's
I say one more thing.
No, I don't.
there's
think
a
so. What?
go ahead.
If I don't give me that microphone.
What? What? What do you got, DJ?
Shout out to Karen B, Ted, and
Yes.
everyone who did everything come together. Thank you. And if I didn't mention you, or if your story wasn't told today, you know, I more will come to me. I'm probably gonna wish that I could say everything. I do. Just Jack's daughter singing was a highlight, so everybody knows she has an angelic voice, and it was another just moment where we were feeling so blessed amongst the chaos there. And everyone that I shared it with, I just love you guys. Thank you for just being who you were, and can't wait to do it again someday. So. Just thank you for everyone who did their part. If I don't have the intricacies right of how it all came together, we all know it came together perfect as it could be. So,
all right.
Shout out to all of you.
I want to do a shout out to a channel that you may or may not know, everyone. Aloha from Florida. Check that channel out. Check out the guy who does the videos on the channel. Aloha from Florida. It's all run together as sort of one word.
Yeah.
Just a good channel with some good information on it. And he needs more subscribers. And I think we can do that, people.
I think we can too. All right. With that.
Oh, Secret Show.
See, this
tomorrow.
is why I paused.
6:30 p.m. Eastern on my channel, which is Patricia Steere. And Mark is going to put a link in the comment section of this video for this channel.
Yep.
So if you don't know where my channel is, you can find it. But anyway, you just look up Patricia Steere. You probably can find it. But
Secret Show tomorrow, 3:30
Show.
Eastern. I'm sorry, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Patricia and I talking about anything and everything.
right.
There is no
Kind of
script.
like this show, but not.
Well, with even less structure in this show.
Exactly.
That's saying something. Okay.
Shout out to Peanut. May his issues be resolved, whatever they may be.
Can I end the show yet?
No. This is Rory who's cleaning his face. I guess it is time to end the show.
Say goodnight, Patricia.
Good night.
Say goodnight, DJ.
Good night, Strange World.
And with that, we're going to run some Alex Lowry, who DJ got a chance to spend some time with, and we're going to put the montage up on the screen. We'll kill the platypuses, not literally. And yeah, roll credits, hot sex, everybody.
Charles Manson, ranch dressing, goat heads with the number 9. It is so divine with the holy grail, shape of the snail, the Fibonacci sound of the conch. of important numbers. 0, a bunch of important numbers. 9, a bunch of important numbers. 23, a bunch of important numbers. 7, a bunch of important numbers. 11, a bunch of important numbers. 11. I'm in a cold